September 12, 2001. 24 hours after the September 11, 2001 attacks were averted. Logan Dara, Dicky Michelson, and Andrea Marshall woke up on the Hilton Hotel in Boston, Massachusetts. 24 hours passed since the September 11, 2001 attacks were prevented from happening, thanks to their cousin Sean Michael Rose. Sean had alerted the FBI and nipped about the attacks a few hours earlier. 19 men were arrested before they could board 4 airplanes bound for California and hijack those planes. "I'm shocked to know that they caught those men so quickly," Dicky said as they all gathered around the TV. The reporters were explaining what would have happened if the men weren't stopped in time. 4 planes would have crashed into the World Trade Center in New York and the Pentagon and the White House in Washington, D.C. 3,000 people would have died in those attacks. To make matters worse, Logan, Dicky, and Andrea would have been among the victims of the 9/11 attacks, or possibly murder, if they hadn't escaped from New York at the last possible second. "I've noticed," said Andrea. "It's impressive the way that those men were caught before they could do some serious damage." "Yeah," said Dicky. "Finally, there's some goodness in this world. Justice has been served." "But not like this," said Logan. The newspapers revealed the names and faces of the men in question. Everyone knows who they are. Right now, I bet that Sean is beating the crap out of them for disrupting his vacation." "I would agree," said Andrea. "But first, let's check up on the kids and see how they're doing. I hate to leave my nanny with the girls for too long." "I would agree, if we weren't supposed to be missing," said Logan as they stared at the TV. The reporters were now discussing the disappearances of the 3 cousins. The story began on September 11, 2001, when Andrea's nanny, Gianna Dishon, waking up and finding Andrea's bed empty. She took her charges, Anastasia and Consuelo Elan, and instead of taking them to school, she went straight to the police station and filed a missing persons report. Soon, news about Andrea's disappearance spread throughout New York City, with a section of the NIP being dispatched to try to find her. Rumors about her being kidnapped and murdered in the hours between 11:57 p.m. on September 10 and 3:45 am on September 11 had searchers walking down back alleys, abandoned buildings, and even the city's sewers. 7 people were arrested for killing Andrea, even if her body hadn't been found yet. "This is beyond insanity," Andrea snarled as the cousins continued to watch that part of the news. "Just who do they think they are, claiming that I'm already dead when it's clear that I'm hiding right here?" Aren't we supposed to be hiding in secret?" said Logan. "Hiding in secret?" Andrea snapped at him, but then she remembered. They had left New York under cover of darkness in order to prevent their own murders, which was why they were in Boston to begin with. "Oh yeah, I remember now," she said. "We're not supposed to be in New York right now. Haven't we forgotten about Jabez's man and his plot to get rid of me?" "No, we haven't," said Dicky. "Which is why we have to stay here. We can't order room service or even use the pool." "Now I understand how Sean felt when he had to hide little Rachel Grant in LA and not allow her to go to Disneyland," said Logan. "I mean, the poor kid had to stay in my apartment for a week and look sad as she watched all the other kids have themselves a grand old time there. It was at this point that I vowed that no child should have to miss going to Disneyland because of some adults' twisted fantasies about them." "Indeed," said Dicky, not caring about Logan's story about a rescued child. "What do we do now?" said Andrea. "We can't leave our rooms, nor can we leave the hotel. There has to be something for us to do here." "I'll be back," said Logan as he put on his overcoat and fedora. "There's got to be some food for us to eat here. Don't let anyone else in here under any circumstances." He left the hotel as the news of various people being found dead in the streets of New York began blaring all over the TVs. "Well, isn't this nice?" said Dicky as they stared at the TV. The NIP chief of police informed the world that 3,000 people were found dead in back alleys, sewers, and abandoned buildings. "I can't believe this. 3,000 people are dead for no reason." "Which is the equivalent number of people who would have been killed yesterday had we not informed Sean to take action," said Andrea. If it wasn't for me, then who knows if those dead people would have even been found. And to help make things worse, your nanny is crying foul and accusing various other people of killing you, said Dicky. Most of those people are related to your husband's family. Who knows if they had a hand in that plot to kill you? I would say yes, said Logan as he walked through the door carrying takeout. As far as we can tell, no one in the Alan family likes Andrea because she has Down syndrome and she's not black. So for those reasons, they might have a reason to get rid of her. Okay, you two, that's enough, said Andrea. Stop it. This story about me and my husband's family is getting stupid. You have a point, Andrea, said Logan. We didn't exactly think this through. It's one thing to disappear without a trace, but it's another thing when the rumors about you being found dead near the Twin Towers have reached this hotel. What? Andrea snarled in anger at that news. Logan and Dicky feared that she would blow their cover by taking the next train to New York and confronting the news reporter who dared to talk of her death. Nonetheless, she didn't leave the spot where she was standing. In fact, she said in a daily calm voice, "When we get back home, Gianna is going to be fired. I can't believe that she did this to me, and to even drag the girls into this mess. Not to mention the FBI shut down the World Trade Center so they can investigate your possible murder," said Dicky. "What does it matter?" said Andrea. "I'm already dead. We might as well take the next plane to Oahu and beg your mother to give me a makeover." "You really don't want to do that," said Logan. "A makeover isn't going to solve this problem." "Not unless we tell the world that I'm dead too," said Dicky. "Everyone and their mother knows that Andrea and I like to hang out everywhere." "Maybe," said Logan. "But I know that my father expects me to call him up and give out my opinion of this story. I hate having to go along with these stupid schemes." "Not unless you somehow recreate our dead bodies and slip them between the Twin Towers," said Andrea. Logan and Dicky glared at her. "Why are you all glaring at me? That'll give people what they want." Andrea Marshall, purported Oscar-winning actress, and her cousin Dicky Michelson were found dead on September 12, 2001 next to the World Trade Center. The NIPD are baffled by this discovery, as no one knew why the two cousins are dead. "I believe that we have our story," said Logan. "But what about you?" said Dicky. "Shouldn't you be dead, too?" "No," said Logan. "If I claimed that I was dead along with you guys, then it's going to look suspicious. Plus, if I were dead, my mother would probably blow up New York." "Yeah, you're right," said Dicky. "Now, let's get this scheme over with so we can get out of here." Ironically, there was no need for Logan, Dicky, and Andrea to fake their deaths, not when the story about Andrea's death turned out to be a hoax the following day. Gianna was arrested for starting the hoax, and Anastasia and Consuelo were taken to a neighbor's house. The city, which was already reeling from the fact that the World Trade Center could have been destroyed during the September 11, 2001 attacks, now was filled with the horror that would have been Andrea Alan's untimely death. "Well, I guess it's safe to say that we showed them," said Logan. "Now they'll be thinking twice before messing with us." "I know, but we're not out of the woods just yet," said Andrea. "We need to lie low for a few more days until the story about me dies down." "Don't worry about that," said Dicky. "If I know anything, it's that people are quick to forget everything they see. How's about I put up some fake article online and make everyone obsess over it so we can escape in peace?" "You should," said Logan and Andrea. It wasn't until September 15, 2001, when Sean Michael Rose found his cousins hiding in the hotel and persuaded them to go to California. But that is another story.